Spock successful.
There was also a fan. Oh, there was also a fan film, I believe, where they had Uhura stealing the Enterprise some years ago.
Is that Gods and Men or something?
I think that was it, yeah. It's been a while since I looked into that area of Star Trek. I used to watch a lot of those when we were in the dark ages between the 09 JJ verse and the golden era of what we're having now. But I think actually they wrote that in as a plot with her and Captain Harriman, who was only briefly featured in Star Trek Generations as Captain of the Enterprise B.
Oh, yeah. That was called Gods and Men, I believe. Well, you know, I'd say that fan film era that, you know, because there's nothing else really to call it, between the end of Enterprise and, well, actually it really took off before the movies came out. But it was really the whole era goes from like 2005 to 2017 when Discovery comes out or is announced.
Right.
You know, you had that one guy who was basically stealing money. I probably shouldn't mention his name, but you had the guy that was basically stealing money through his name. Yeah. I actually interviewed some of the people who are involved in that. That was a mess. But Star Trek continues and Star Trek Next Phase, New Voyages. And I think that's actually what prepped us for, Star Trek being recast, getting new actors. I don't know without those fan films if we would ever have been okay with a new Jim Kirk, you know?
Yeah, and lucky for us, I thought that on their castings for Jim Kirk, because I believe there were two different ones. Vic Minogue was one, and the other name escapes me. I thought their casting for Kirk in both of those productions was actually very good.
Yeah, I can't remember the other guy's name either. He was the guy who started Next Voyages or whatever it was. He was also an Elvis impersonator. That's why his hair never quite lined up. But before
Captain Jim Presley.
Yeah, before they gave up on that, he had actually cast a new actor who was going to take over as Kirk because he wanted somebody who was actually an actor and not just a Star Trek fan. But then, of course, the new rules about fan films were released due to one person's highly questionable behavior. So, you know, that's what brought all of that to an end. And of course, Vic and the stuff that he was accused of. And actually, I've talked to Vic and, interviewed him. He was a great guy to me, but when it first happened, I was even told by people, hey, here's the things people say about him. So I was like, oh, I hope that's not true. And then all the accusations came out. So that's a shame. But there's, you know, Star Trek continues to still out there. It's still a good show. Chuck Huber is a great Dr. McCoy on there. The guy that played Spock was a lot of fun. And the fact that they had Jim Doohan's son as Scotty is great too.